Greetings everyone, hello and welcome back to Anno 800. How good of you to join, take a cup of coffee, sit back, relax as we continue with our skyscraper buildings, a central park and also improvements to the homes of my people.
But before we continue, the Emperor calls upon you. Let me introduce you to Warhammer 40,000 Tacticus, a new tactical mobile game focusing on science fantasy and strategy, based in the Warhammer universe. Collect and upgrade champions, experience fast-paced PvE campaigns and competitive player versus player. Fight together in boss fights to earn glory for your guild. Tacticus already offers over 14 playable factions and 50 champions in turn-based combat on detailed Axe battlefields and is completely free to play. With your collection of upgradable champions, you'll be able to utilize unique team synergies and master the battlefield. All impacting and playable content can be obtained for free, but the optional Battle Pass provides you with more exciting progress. Regular events like tournaments and new campaigns renew the fun constantly and provide new challenges on a regular basis. Join a passionate community of gamers, organizing guilds and share the love for Warhammer's lore, characters and tactical gameplay. Asynchronous co-op fights with leaderboards add to the community feeling. Warhammer Tacticus is available in the iOS, Google Play and Samsung Store. Check out the link in the video description or comment section to join this rich universe and thousands of other players.
Now I would like to rather continue right away with another thing that we have for my tourists, right? We have down here, as you can see, the central hall, and this is actually a tourist destination. This is something that tourists like to see. I would like to think to myself, this is not really a central home, but rather a big, beautiful museum, right, of modern arts, you might call it, and it definitely does need a connection, of course. The same goes with the docklands that are also included. Let's just have a look there real quick. We can see what we have included with a click on the bus station, and this one here, for example, we don't have the best coverage for the variety theater. We have no coverages for basically anything really that is not the World Fair. And here we also have then the docklands, for example. I think the central hall is actually not visible in here because it's a modded building, but it will then just count as well. And when we look at the tourist mooring, we can see that, yeah, we got some 6,400 tourists in town already. And this leads to an additional income of 23,000 point, which is a lot, honestly. It really is a lot, and it is adding up, of course, to my balance. Right now we also have then a total of 125 tourists in here. That's not much, so we still need to wait here, right? And we can see that the ship is on its way, and in 16 minutes we can see this big bump here. So I'm looking forward to this, and if we continue with adding more bus stops now, we will get even more out of this, right? So the more attractions we add, the better, and the central hall is one of them. Right in front of it, yeah, space is a bit tight, but I can make a little place here, right? So if I remove this engineer, this poor sod, we can move him somewhere else. And yeah, we do have a bit of space here that we can connect it with that investor residence. And then we have this tiny space available there for us to get us this bus station in. And as you can see, we actually get the variety theater and the central hall right in as well, which is just great. And then we also have here a column that is working that magic, and behind it I might then just go ahead and add me some smaller plaza, perhaps with a little tree in between, and that's just fine for the moment, right? And with that we have this covered. However, what we probably see is that we actually have it connected with the global, or with the citywide bus network, because over there we have one, and this is just close enough, right? Because I was actually thinking along the avenues, but here it's not covered, but it is of course close enough to this one, so it is covered after all. And we should then also see a nice bump up here, that once it's working, that we can see more tourists will flock to the city. And with that, we have some new traction, and also variety theater is now at a 100%. We are, I think, now close enough, let's just check it out there, to reach the docklands. There it is, right? So that's the coverage, and we can then go ahead and have us a bus station here as well. I would like to try to add it here, but that's of course not going to work, so we really need to have it close, somewhere here close to the docklands. There we have a nice proper location. I think we might actually just make it here, right beside the beach area. However, of course, let's make it actually a bit more beautiful. We can have then here my harbor area, and also here along along the dockland so that we get a proper paved area. And then also here. And in between, just here, we do have then once again a little plaza for the bus station. There you go, just something small, right, where people can also enjoy a drink or two and watch the clock pass by. Perfect. With that, the docklands is also now covered in the Wampus Alley, as it's called. Now that is a lovely name. Up on our way to the palace, we actually also cross the Scholar District that is not having a bus station yet, and it actually also needs one if we want to have the full city covered. So we need to go ahead and let's just see where the coverage is right now. It is here, so I think, yeah, we are going to need 2 of them at least. So right in here we got this park area. I think this would be perfect for a smaller bus station that we can have along the main road. Let's move this engineer a bit further over, and we can then add a nice bus station here, and then just along the main road right up to this point here. I could get rid of this artisan there, or we actually place it in here, but that, however, I would not like so much. So let's move the artisan rather and get us this bus station in this corner here. This leads to more coverage over there. I will still need one more here, and then another one finally right in front of the palace. The cool thing is, I actually think they fixed this or patched this. We don't need to have the main building in the range anymore. It just is also sufficient to have a module of the palace in range, right, like this. And as you can see, it highlights the main building then nonetheless. So that means that we can just add the bus station here somewhere, and it will get the perfect coverage for it. I would like to keep this one here for some ornaments available, so we're going to rather use the bus station perhaps a bit further away, perhaps a bit further over here then. That might be possible to also cover then the botanical gardens as well at some point. And with that, the palace coverage is also now coming in. How very nice. Oh, even better nice, or nicer, we can see a new Yamato coming up, the Snapping Turtle it's called. Yeah, the fleet is growing with that. The third one, I think we still have some items available that I could use for proper boosting. And I think also, yep, construction of the next one has started. So 2 more we have in queue, and of course we could actually get a few more out there since we have the influence also. So the fleet is growing. I would primarily go with Yamato since they just really are the best ships. But of course, combined with some submarines might be nice as well for that quick, devastating attack that we can have. Alright, over there, what I can see is this is not good. An oil refinery that we need to repair. Oh, perhaps a bit more. Perhaps, once again, to my shame, I forgot a... Oh, fire station is actually here, but we might just add a second one. Right, since such a big industrial zone needs perhaps 2. Now, I've heard you, and I was bothered by this as well a bit. It was not really looking symmetrical, but it looked like it was meant to be symmetrical. So I changed the layout of the Scholar District there a bit, and also the surrounding buildings. And now we have a rather symmetrical layout left and right to the Scholar District, and also behind it. And here we can then also continue with a few more blueprinted versions. So there is a few more scholars that we can have here, and the same goes with this area. Of course, I'm not a big fan of having totally symmetrical districts, because I think this looks just ridiculous. But in that case here, let's just have it for the Scholar District. It was a challenge accepted, and actually this is possible just by getting rid of a second row of artisans here and here, because we needed somehow to maintain that triple road, which is, yeah, very close to my heart, to say the least. We can have a little plaza then here, probably a fountain or something, and with that leading all the way over then to the industrial zone. And with that, let's go ahead and, yeah, build some more scholars. We have the building permits, and this leads to those guys here, right? We still have already the next breakthrough in research, so in 8 minutes this will be achieved. And with those latest scholars, we're growing towards the seafood stew, which we already provided, and the bomb bins that we now need as well. Bomb bins and hibiscus tea for a bit more scholar happiness. Don't forget, the more happy, or the happier my scholars are, the more research points we can squeeze out of them. Probably something I would like to do. And with that, I would also like to decorate the Scholar District a bit. So let's have some entrances for these guys here. I think, oh, we still also have a chapel here. Not too close, okay. Actually really close, so in that case, the chapel we might then just hide. Or we have our enclosed greenery here, just beside it. Right, we could also have the flower beds like this. Or just some trees. I would like to go with some trees. And we do have the perfectly fitted elm trees or oak trees that we can also have. Let's have the elm trees for this. I think I like the style of them quite a bit. And on the other side too. And in the center, I would definitely like to have my globe that we can use over here. The 1 million pioneers. Little entrance there, right in front of the scholar. I think it's just fitting, right? A testament to engineering. With perhaps just a few of these splash fountains. In that case here, very nice for hot summer days for kids to roam around and get a bit wet. Overall. On the other side we have this park area here still that we can use. So in between I would like to use elm trees for sure, because I think the style just fits a lot to the scholar residences, right? Probably here too, we don't need roads everywhere. Very nice. Some enclosed greenery along the road here, so that we have also some paths, because there's also benches included and lampposts. A lot of details actually into just one tile of ornament. And for the central park, we're going with a fountain, a few flower beds perhaps. I would love to use a temperate growth in between as well, because it basically allows me to have some patches of green as well for the scholars to also sit around and, yeah, debate. Right, during nighttime, of course, it's not so easy to see, but let's go ahead nonetheless and build it. And with that, we got ourselves a nice little scholar park right in front of my research institute. Speaking about parks, the central park should also be filled. It's just this giant void in the center of the city, and it's not really great to look at, even though we get some patches of green where there might still be some wildlife roaming around right in here. And of course the land value is too high, the pressure is too high for building projects. We need to build something here quickly, and of course it needs to be a nice central big park. For that, once again, I'm going ahead with a fence around it, so it's going to be a nice beautiful fence. It's not a fence that keeps people away, right? You can jump over it. It's a decorative fence that allows me to outline the central park area. Also, it has benches around it, right? It has trees, it has bushes, so it's just a nice ornamental fence all around it, with some openings, of course, that we have in the center. Planning the entrances is not so easy. Unfortunately, the game does not offer me a tile count or something like that, so I need to go in and just count me the tiles until I have something. So I definitely want to have an entrance here by the main entrance. And then we're also going to fix this again, and then we're probably just going to make the same exit here on the other side as well, right? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm just going to make it 5 tiles long to get the same piece of entrance then over here as well. The same with the sides that I've already done, which leads then to the same entrances all around in some certain distances. Now I would like to separate the park into 2 distinct areas. One is more for ornaments and beauty and symmetry, and the other one is more like for wandering around and enjoying a bit of nature. For that we have the Clearwater Pool. I like this a lot because it kind of like is a venue and an avenue or an area where you can celebrate, where there can be festivities and stuff like that. I like this a lot with its back then to the more quiet area. And we have it then somewhere over here because this is a bustling area, right? There we got the library here, we got the skyscrapers, we're going to have monuments here and the monument rows. So I think this just makes sense here overall, and we just need to place it then a bit central to the entrance. And as always with this game, it is impossible for me to maintain some symmetry because there's always one tile difference. So what we can do here this time around, I would probably just like to prolong or shorten the entrances. In fact, what we can also do is I could get rid of this double road here. I think this is the better option because, let's face it, we don't need 2 double roads there. It's just a bit too much. And I'm going to move this one up. With that, we can make a triple road temporarily and also add a double road here again. So with that, only this is a double road. And with this, we can actually move now that fence just 1 tile further and call it a day. And with that, I can finally get my symmetry back to work. Because now we actually can make the entrances so that we have also then here the 5 tiles. And we are also going to make 5 tiles here. So this one still needs to disappear. There you go. To finally have 3 tiles left and right of this of this clear water pool. Let's just place it here somewhere. I would probably like to still squeeze it in a bit further up. Something like that, so we have a bit of space in front of it. Just in comparison, look how dwarfing the biggest city fountain is that we have in comparison to the clear water pool. So the size should be clear. I'm then going to lay out the foundation of my road network that we have in this park. So for this, I'm going to use these side entrances first, that we can connect with each other. This will make sure that we can kind of like have it close to it. Probably with something in between still that we can add. With the entrance then here somewhere, leading to a bit of a plaza area. With also main avenues leading up to this clear water pool. And then we have on the other side also a smaller back still here. So this area there that we also still want to connect, of course, with that plaza. So let's make it a 3-tile avenue here still that goes probably all the way up to this point there. Connecting it here. And then also on the back of it with a double tile road. And with that, the basic road foundation in the more ornamental district is finished. Now we can move just with 1 tile to the other side then, over here, which just centers then with the main entrance on the other side. Perhaps for change also going with a canal system that we can have on both sides here. The bridges are finally available there to me, so we can have here actually a 2-tile bridge on that side. And also on this side here, and we could even have a 3-tile bridge right here in the center somewhere for people to enjoy that. Those bridges have a white pavement, right? So it is looking a bit strange when we have it like that. No, it's actually fine, I think, as it goes over there. We could also use the white paving there, but then again we would have to use it everywhere, so this is not something I like in particular, so I'm not going to do this, of course. Let's add also some more pavements in here, and then we also have just a bit of an area here that just leads to some smaller fountains. The duck pond especially is one of my favorite ones that we can use. So let's add 2 of them in the center here, that we can have in a nice, quiet, rather, well, enclosed area that we have. I would definitely also like a Ferris wheel for this area. So I'm going to place it right behind my big water pool here, and just also overlooking the canal system. A playground area for kids might be just perfect right over here. So let's get this one cracking. Actually have 2 of them. We can have, yeah, we can have these. I mean, this is already big enough, but it does miss one crucial feature, and that's a slide, of course. And we do need slides, so let's go ahead and have 1 more here that is overlooking it, and probably also right overlooking it like this. They already tend to their own plaza area, right? So you do have a pavement here in between them. That is fine. And the whole thing is surrounded by some temperate growth. Do we need a walk-in? We probably don't really need it. We could still provide it somewhere here, I guess. Where people can then also walk in if they feel like it. Very good. On the other side, I would definitely like to use my old Eden burning tree. I just love this ornament a lot, and we're going to have then also a nice little entrance to that, and probably also then surrounded by some flower beds that we could have like this, or surrounding it. Let's actually already build the whole thing. We can do the paving. That will bring in also quite a lot of attractiveness there. Perfect. We can build the canal system. We can build the ornaments here and the fence system around us. We might actually just jump to the next attraction level there. And also the children's area over here. And the clear water pool. This beautiful building is getting interrupted severely by a really massive attack this time by the Admiral, so I think that's what he gathered all those ships for. Problem is they're being stuck there right now, and that once again also leads to the problem for the Admiral that he kind of like doesn't send all the ships in at once, rather than tickling in right like this, which of course is very good for me, so we can just take them out one by one. And as you can see, they're not doing that much damage to my defenses. Really taking him quite some time to come in. He's the only one attacking right now. If he would merge together with someone else, they would probably have the chance here at actually destroying my coastlines completely. He looks determined. And yeah, I think also beaten after just a few minutes. The whole thing is over again. The Admiral usually has some stuff that he likes to drop for me. So let's just also go ahead and collect as much flotsam as possible. Oh, he's actually taking a turn again, but yeah, I don't think that he's really got a chance there. One could almost be afraid of what is actually going on here. What has he destroyed so far? One tower though? No big baddies yet. Oh yeah, there is one. Two big baddies now. That's at least some destruction there. And we have entered the siege state. That's also been a while since this has happened. And I'm glad the AI still tries to wreak havoc on me. Actually, it doesn't look that bad for him, to be honest. They could probably overtake the island if they would merge their fleets at this point, with so many ships. And he's determined still, so he's not backing off. I do not dare to send in the fleet though, because that's just too many ships right now. They would wreck my fleet. Oh, advanced weapons, so we get some repairing in already. The Field Marshal with the active healing activated, that's great stuff. And dynamite that we certainly don't need. Holy cow, it's more than I thought. They're still fighting hard right now, and my defenses are crumbling. Step by step, or tower by tower, you might say. Polista, haven't seen him in a while, he comes back again. And moving now to the other side, is that correct? Definitely did some damage here. I think he's moving now to the other side, but of course that will be even more impossible because there's my own ships. Then we need to probably back them away there again a bit, so they're in the reach of my harbor defenses. Was a nice try though, the best that I've seen so far at crushing those defense lines. I could use the moment's pause to continue with my development of the central park. So in this area we have now finished quite a few ornaments. I would like to get cracking with some more temperate groves, especially over here then, on the sides, especially to the fence. Having another reach here, and then also of course around the canal, so people have a bit of quiet time on their boats that they're already using, right? So there should be, yep, there they are, already traversing the canals of my central park. So go ahead and build those trees over here right now. Oh, look at that. Yeah, one of those ships was a bit too slow. It's a lot of them, really. We are going to lose a Yamato, and that's because I wanted to build some trees in my central park. We can also see one of them going down, and that's just the look of it. And now my harbor defenses are firing. And funnily enough, what I've just noticed is when they are going down the sinking animation, those turrets actually grow up, right? Since they're rather small. as is right now. Alright. Holy cow, what an attack! He prepared this a long time. Got some more interesting items here. I'm still not really concerned, honestly. It's just a lot of steam, right? He's already trying to back off, most likely. He destroyed one cannon of my main area. That is an achievement, for sure. And he destroyed quite a lot of turrets, even going into the third row of the second harbor defense that we have. And the tourists, of course, have a spectacle like they haven't seen yet. So there's a thrill discount I'm giving you on top of that. Nice money that's coming in too. Even though with the siege, I think we are losing some attractiveness there right now. Once again, he moves to the other side, but it's really not that many ships anymore. Yeah, and that's definitely the end of it. That was the biggest attack on Panagos so far, and that was just one AI force. Let's just hope they don't merge anytime soon. Stay tuned.